It's about a mysterious figure that started appearing in the background of every photo I took. Let me take you back to where it all began. It all started last summer when I got a new camera. As an amateur photographer, I loved capturing everyday moments. I was snapping photos of friends, family, and even random places I visited. One day, while going through my pictures, I noticed something odd. A blurry figure in the background of one of my shots. At first I thought it was just a trick of the light, but then things got stranger. The next weekend, I went to a nearby park to take some photos of the scenery. When I reviewed the pictures later, there it was again, that same blurry figure, always in the background, always just out of focus. I showed the photos to my friend Alex, who laughed it off, saying it was probably a smudge on my lens. But I knew it wasn't. The figure seemed to be getting clearer, almost like it was moving closer. Determined to prove it was more than just a coincidence, I started taking photos everywhere I went. No matter where I was, the grocery store, the gym, even my own house, the figure appeared in every single picture. Sometimes it was just a shadow, other times it looked like a person standing far away. I felt a chill run down my spine every time I looked at those photos. Who or what was this figure? I decided to dig deeper. I went to the library and researched local legends and ghost stories, but found nothing that matched my experience. One night, while browsing through an old online forum for paranormal enthusiasts, I found a post from someone who had a similar experience. They claimed that the figure was a spirit trapped between worlds, trying to communicate. I reached out to the poster, but never got a response. Things took a darker turn when I started having nightmares. In my dreams, I saw the figure, but it wasn't blurry anymore. It was a man with hollow eyes and a sorrowful expression. He would reach out to me, but before I could understand what he wanted, I would wake up in a cold sweat. One night I woke up and decided I had enough. I grabbed my camera and took a photo of my bedroom. My heart nearly stopped when I saw the picture. The figure was right next to my bed, looking directly at me. Terrified, I decided to visit a psychic recommended by a friend. The psychic listened to my story and looked at the photos. She told me the figure was a spirit trying to find peace. She suggested I go back to where I first noticed the figure and try to communicate. With nothing to lose, I went back to the park where I took the first photo. I stood in the exact spot and took a deep breath. "What do you want?" I called out. Suddenly the air grew cold, and I felt a presence behind me. I turned around, but there was no one there. I took another photo, and this time, the figure was clearer than ever. It was the man from my dreams, and he was pointing towards the old abandoned house at the edge of the park. Gathering my courage, I walked to the house and entered. Inside, I found an old, dusty photo album. It was filled with pictures of a family, and there, in the background of every photo, was the same man. I realized he must have been a part of the family that lived there long ago. Perhaps a forgotten relative, or someone who met a tragic end. I took the album outside and said a few words, hoping to bring him peace. When I checked my camera again, the figure was gone. Since that day, I haven't seen the figure in any of my photos. The nightmare stopped, and I felt a sense of closure. I still take photos, but now I always check the background just in case. I often wonder about that man and what he wanted to tell me. Maybe he just needed someone to acknowledge his existence, to remember him. So if you ever notice something strange in your photos, don't ignore it. Sometimes the past reaches out in unexpected ways, and it's up to us to listen.